Hey guys, so today we're going to go over my Steam Replay 2025. This is all the games that I played on Steam in 2025. It's not counting all the Nintendo games I played, all the PlayStation games I played, the console games, that's something else. But yeah, 2025 I did play a lot of games on Steam. Let's check it out. I did a video about my Steam Replay 2024, so yeah, it makes sense. Let's check out 2025. It's 372 games played. This is 19 games fewer than 2024, which is actually kind of surprising to me because I thought I played more games in 2025, to be honest. So this surprises me. 2024, in fact, I was actually pretty busy in 2024. Half the time I spent in South Korea because I got married and had a wedding, and then I had a honeymoon. So despite all of that, somehow I still played more games in 2024. It doesn't make any sense. How did I play so many games in 2024 when I was busy like half the year? I don't know. 333 new games. That's not surprising because I usually play new games and put it on my channel. Okay. 461 achievements unlocked, 52 fewer than 2024. Again, I'm shocked that I played more games and had more achievements in 2024. How did I do that year? I don't know. I was actually busy half that year, and yet I still played more games, had more achievements that year. Crazy. I would have thought I had more achievements in games in 2025, but okay. 76% keyboard and mouse. Yeah, 21% with controller. That's because I use controller for like shooters, beat 'em ups, fighting games, platformers, and some third-person games, some third-person adventure games or RPGs. I might use controller, but keyboard and mouse is kind of my default. So yeah, but still, I would have thought controller would be a bit higher. It may not. Crusader Kings 3 is the game I played the most, 12% of my playtime, which is interesting because I never actually featured this game on my channel yet. So Crusader Kings 3 is a grand strategy game. It takes a long time to play this game, but I never actually featured it on my channel. So it's kind of interesting. Crusader Kings 3, yeah, I never had a video about it on my channel yet. It's 12% playtime. Inzoi, I have 1% playtime. So Inzoi is a life simulation game that's a competitor to The Sims that came out 2025 last year. So yeah, I actually liked Inzoi and played it quite a bit when it came out because I was waiting for a really long time for somebody to make a competitor to The Sims, because like EA has been dominating that genre or category for such a long time. They had no competitors for such a long time. So Inzoi came out, made by a Korean company, really great graphics actually, and create my own characters, especially for Asian characters. It's really realistic looking. So yeah, I wanted to play it and had some fun. Definitely spent a lot of time in Inzoi. It was what ended up being probably my top 10. I think I made a top 10 of 2025 games. I think it ended up being number 10. So it definitely could have been better. Sure, a lot of the interactions definitely felt AI generated, and it didn't feel natural, I guess, and the world felt a little bit empty, but still, it did launch with more features than Sims 4 did, so yeah. Anyways, Inzoi is pretty good. Played a lot of that. Also played Trails in the Sky first chapter demo, because Trails in the Sky first chapter had a remake in 2025, and was a pretty good remake, I think. So that actually ended up being in my top 30 as well. So I played a lot of that too. Yeah, it's a JRPG if you guys haven't played it. Trails in the Sky first chapter remake. This is a pretty good one if you guys haven't checked it out. Okay, 461 achievements, Steam median is 11. 372 games. The Steam median is only 4. That's pretty interesting, right? It's like people play on average only 4 games a year on Steam. That's not a lot. Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised it's only 4. Longest streak is 11 days. 34% new releases. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. That's probably going to be this year as well. 14% percentage playtime. Okay, so definitely I play a lot more new releases than usual, than other people. What's a boomer shooter? I don't know what a boomer shooter is. Does that mean old school FPS game? Boomer shooter. Is that like a 90s FPS game? Because if that's true, I do play 90s FPS games quite a bit. Souls-like I play as well. Point-and-click adventure games I played a lot of. Visual novels, of course. Life simulation, which is like Inzoi, and the Warhammer 40,000, which I did play a lot of Warhammer 40,000 as well. Okay, interesting. I didn't write that many reviews because I played thousands of games, right? So I have I don't know how many Steam games in total. 2,000? Over 2,000 Steam games? 3,000? I don't know. But I have quite a bit of Steam games. Okay, yes, Crusader Kings 3. I played quite a bit of Crusader Kings 3 in October. Inzoi, I played quite a bit in March. That's when it came out. Is it really in March? Wow, is that long ago? I thought it was, For some reason I thought it released sooner. I thought it released later than that, but okay. That's because I played a demo of Inzoi like in 2024, right? October 2024, I think I played the demo. And then March it got released, okay. Trails in Sky First Chapter, played that in September, okay. Marvel Rivals, yeah. Played this with my friends a few times. It's a fun game. It's free to play, and it's kind of similar to Overwatch, except with Marvel characters. So I played a bunch of Marvel Rivals. This is kind of surprising. Milk outside of a bag of milk outside a bag of milk. I beat this game because it wasn't a long game or anything. It's kind of a short game, but kind of surprised this one got featured. Okay. And playtime by month. Okay. October, I definitely... Oh, because of Crusader Kings 3. Right. Yeah, so I ended up playing Crusader Kings 3 a lot in October. Okay. January I actually played the most. Most of my playtime's on Windows, part on VR. Okay, makes sense. And again, this is just Steam, not counting consoles, right? Top play VR games. Resonite, that was kind of like... This is kind of the successor to Neo's VR. It's kind of like a VR world similar to VR Chat. So I played a bit of that. Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim VR, Borderlands 2 VR, and Black Hole Pool, which is actually a pretty nice VR pool game. So that was my VR. I didn't play too much VR in 2025, or last year, I should say. Didn't play too much VR last year. Yeah, I probably played the most VR in during COVID, honestly, like 2020, 2021. That's probably when I used VR games. That's when I played VR games the most, because everyone was at home, lockdown during COVID. So I was just playing so much VR Chat during that time, and Sansar as well. So yeah, that was probably the time I used VR the most, but not so much recently. These were with my controller games. So Trails in Sky First Chapter, Elden Ring, UFO 50. That's a pretty cool game. It's a compilation of 50 different games. Expedition 33, yep. I did play that using controller. And Daemon X Machina Titanic Ski-On. Yep. I played 201 demos. That's because I like to play... first of all, demos are free, so why not, right? And they're kind of like these short little bite-sized experiences. And because I like to just go playing games just to get experiences, just new games all the time, it makes total sense for me to play a lot of demos in Steam. So yeah, I just wanted to have new experiences playing bite-sized pieces, right? So yeah, Trails in the Sky, Whisper of the House, Passant, Sigils of Nightfall, and Daemon X Machina Titanic Ski-On. I guess these ones I spent the most on. I forget Sigils of Nightfall and Whisper of the House. Trails in the Sky made my top 30 of games in 2025. Passant did as well. Daemon X Machina and Titanic Ski-On is a good game too, although it didn't quite make my top 30. Playtests you participated in. So these are playtests, which are pretty similar to demos, honestly. Space Gum, Atria Dominus Wars, Glass House, All of Our Broken Parts, Wagon. The only one I really remember out of these is All of Our Broken Parts. That's actually a pretty cool game. Actually, Glass House, I think this was like a Disco Elysium type of game. A Wagon was kind of like this roguelike card builder game, I think. And I do not remember these two at all. I think they're pretty forgettable. Yeah. I think this All of Our Broken Parts is repairing, going to the mind of different machines and robots, like androids, I think. So that was kind of interesting. Okay. 60 different games I played in 11 days. That's actually insane. Wow. Did I play 60 different games in 11 days? So during this period, wow. Yeah. 60 different games in 11 days. Quite a streak. Runaway, I was playing a bunch of point-and-click adventure games during this time, right? So I played Runaway, Road Adventure, Runaway Twist of Fate. I played Fallout New Vegas as well. Don't even remember playing that one again. Remember Me, I played this again as well. I don't remember playing this last year. And then these are all point-and-clicks. Cat Lady, Jack Orlando, Darkfall, Darkfall 2, Heron's Quest, Last Door, Golden Wake, Shardlight, Tony Tough. This one, a little bit different, Independence War 2. This one doesn't even have title. Layers of Fear, that's a great horror game as well. Time Lapse, played that. These are all point and clicks as well. Aquarian Undying Thoughts, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. Yep, these are some RTS games. Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Yep. Visage is a horror game. Remother is a horror game. Evil Within 2, horror game. Nemesis 3 Mysterious Journey. That's point and click. Well, actually, adventure game, technically. Layers of Fear 2. Yep. That's a horror. Paranormal Education is a horror. Code Vein. I think this was like a Souls-like. Metaphobia, I think, was also point and click. Forget about that one. That was forgettable. Warhammer Battle Sector. Yep. It's kind of strategy. Adventures of Samsara. Shooters, Blood and Teeth, Old Skies. These two are kind of forgettable. Old Skies, point and click, is decent. Demon Hunters, Chaos Gate. Okay. Yep, I remember. That was a pretty good one, actually. I had that one in my top 30. Beyond the Edge of Alskar is pretty good. That's a nice point and click. Nightmare Frames, a point and click. That was horror. Layers of Fear, again. This is the original, I think. The original one, I think I liked it a little bit better than the remake. Then I have a card game, Warforged, Incantations, another horror game, and Bridge Curse 2, horror game. Goblins 5, point and click. The Insanity is a really good horror game. I had this in my top 30. Both my top 30 horror games and top 30 2025 games. Bathhouse is another cool horror game. Dead Hands, a point and click. Deficit, that's a forgettable one. Catano, I think, is also forgettable. Don't remember playing that, but I did play it. Mio, I think this was a Metroidvania. Frosthaven is kind of like Gloomhaven, I think, so it's a strategy. Voidbreaker, that's a forgettable one as well. Dark Quest 4, Bollux Pit, it's a roguelike. Bagel Boss is point and click. Absolum, this is a beat 'em up. Rocket Lab, it's one of those crafting games, survival games. Mina the Hollowers, this one was this made by I forget. Anyways, this one was made by like the same devs of like Shovel Knight or something like that. I forget. Air Machina, okay. Mighty 1990, yeah, this is a point and click as well. Morbid Metal, Live Burr, okay. There's definitely some forgettable games in here that I played during this time. I think the most memorable out of this bunch would be Golden Wake is actually pretty good point and click. Cat Lady, that's a horror point and click adventure, is pretty good as well. Actually, I had this in my top 50 point and clicks maybe. Heron's Quest is kind of like a Quest for Glory type of game. Layers of Fear, the original Layers of Fear I like the best. That's a really good horror game. And Remother is a pretty good horror game as well. Had that in my top 50 horror games. Beyond the Edge of Alskar is a pretty good point and click. And Old Skies is a pretty good point and click as well. Chaos Gate Demon Hunters is a pretty good strategy game. Nightmare Frames is actually a pretty good point and click too. And then Incantation and Insanity and Bathhouse are all pretty good horror games. And then Absolum is actually a pretty good beat 'em up. And yeah, I think the rest are kind of forgettable. Okay, let's go over month by 1 month now. Okay, so January, let's check it out. Passant, I had this in my top 30 games of 2025. That's a chess roguelike. It's actually really good. UFO 50 is also a really good game too. A lot of 50 different games are all like kind of different genres and stuff. It's a big compilation, very big on value. Heavy Rain is a cinematic game. It was okay. Same developers as Detroit Become Human, right? Verse 1999 is this free-to-play game, I think. That's kind of this RPG, but it's also a visual novel. It's okay. Still Wakes the Deep. That's a pretty good horror game. I had that in my top 50. My Time in Sandrock's like... this one is like what? It's... See, I don't remember sometimes the games I played. I think this is like an Animal Crossing or something like that, or Harvest Moon or Story Seasons type game. Ellen, forgettable. I don't remember that one as much. Sword of Fairy 7 is actually not bad. This one is like a Chinese RPG. It's not Taiwanese, actually. Not bad. Warhammer Darktide. It's kind of like Vermintide 2, right? That's not bad. Vivat Slovakia is like an open world. It's like GTA except set in Slovakia in like the 90s. Root Trees Are Dead. Okay, I think this was an investigative game. Call of Cthulhu, the remake. It's a decent horror game as well. I think I had this actually in my top 50 too. Hyperlight Breaker, sequel to Hyperlight Drifter. It's okay. Hypnospace Outlaw, very forgettable. I forgot I played that one. House Flipper, forget I played that one. Underrail, forget I played that one. Hacknet, forgettable as well. Nightingale, it's okay. Times in Galaxy. I think this was a kind of a time point and click ish adventure, right? Kind of like a point and click. Greek God of Growth, forgettable. First Descendant. I think this was a survival game. Me-Side was pretty good. I played this in. I thought this was a 2024 game actually, but Me-Side was pretty good. This is like a psychological horror. Cozy Grove, forgettable, I'd say. Tales of Iron. This is like a Souls-like platformer. Spiritfarer, yeah, it's like a cinematic platformer. Witch in the Woods, yep, this is like a retro style RPG or something like that. Gothic, this is the Gothic remake. Mouthwashing is a pretty good horror game. I had this in my top 30 horror games. Kinseed is like another Stardew Valley type game. Potion Permit, same thing, Stardew Valley type. Aotenzo is a roguelike Mahjong game. It's a roguelike Mahjong game, yep. But I like Passant better. Dawn of Zeros, Metrovania. Huni Pop, puzzle game. Condemned Criminal Elegance, okay, it's a horror game. Crow Country is another pretty good horror game. I had this in my top 30 as well. Vanishing Ethan Carter Redux, another horror game. Sakura was a pretty good horror game too. I think I might have also had that in my top 50. Towerborn, I think this is a beat 'em up, kind of like Guardian Heroes. Dark Envoy, forgettable. Graveyard Keeper, forgettable. Forgettable. AI Limit, Super Luckies. I think this is a 3D platformer. Sorry We're Closed, it's another horror game, pretty good. Or decent, I should say. Duck Detective, point and click, it's okay. Team Fortress 2, finally got around to playing that one. Scorn, it's this one is a pretty grotesque kind of horror game, but interesting. Definitely remember the graphics from that one and the environment. War Tales, forgettable. V Rising, forgettable. Chains of Satanov, I don't remember that one play at all. It's very forgettable. The Looker, very forgettable. Project Zomboid, also forgettable. A Short Hike, I remember this one. You play as this bird and then you try to like do these quests and stuff. It's just a cozy game. Neva, another side scroller. Plucky Squire, yeah, I remember this one. It's okay, not really great. Dreaming Isles, another Stardew Valley like. I forget this one. Witness, I think this was like a puzzle Myst type. Nethergill, forgettable. Beyond Citadel, I think this is a first-person shooter, retro style. None Shall Intrude, that's forgettable. First Berserker Kazan's a Souls-like. Death Crown. I do kind of remember this one. It had a unique art aesthetic. I think it was a city builder or something like that. Little Kitty Big City, Abydos, forgettable. Slime Rancher 2, another mech game. On Your Tail, I forget that one. Mahjong Pretty Girls Battle, it's a Mahjong game. Loop Hero, it's another roguelike, I think. Takara Cards, another card builder. Exapunk, some tactical game. Tank Wars Anniversary, I'm surprised they had that one. Tank Wars had got a remake. Yeah, it's okay. Gator Game, another cozy game. Crypt Custodian, forgettable. Europa, I think it reminded me of Rime, I think, is the game. And Sable, I think it kind of reminded me of as well. Yeah, it's got the aesthetic and the open world. Yeah, kind of got Breath of the Wild charm as well. Fear the Spotlight, it's another decent horror game, I think. I played the demo. Path of Exile 2, yeah, I did play that for a bit. It's like a Diablo-like, basically. Better than Diablo 4, actually. Dungeon Endless, forgettable. Sayonara Wild Hearts, this is a pretty cool game. It's like a rhythm game, actually. Have a Nice Death, nah, it's okay. Sonic Lost World. Did I play this game? That's a very forgettable game too then, if I don't remember playing it. Signalis, decent horror game. Heroes of Hammerwatch, I kind of remember playing this. Memoria, don't remember playing that. Ori and the Blind Forest, this is a pretty good Metroidvania. Actually one of the best Metroidvanias. Turbo Kyo, don't remember playing this. Graphite, don't remember. Death Howl, kind of remember this one, just okay. I think it was a roguelike. Mullet Madjack, I remember this being a very fast-paced FPS game. Sworn, I forget that. Coming Back will forget that. Rogue Loops, it's a roguelike. Midori no Kaori, cozy game, I guess. And the for the awesome. Yeah, I kind of remember. BPS, this is another one of those fast-paced FPS games, bullets per minute. Kind of similar to Mullet Madjack. Thousand X Resist, I think that I played this in 2024, actually. It's a really nice adventure game. Yeah, it's a pretty nice adventure game. Summer House, I forget that. Menominee Lane, forget that. Animation is a pretty good adventure game. I think it's from 2022 though. Great Abyss Cyclopean. I kind of remember this. Very unique art style. Hellskate. Kind of remember that. It's got the Tony Hawk and in the Demon World. Me-Side. Yep. Pretty good horror game. I think I had this in my honorable mentions for 2024. Remember Me is from 2013 actually, and I don't remember booting this up at all. But I did play this on my channel a while ago. I don't know what this game is. This is, yeah, it doesn't even have the name. Blade of Darkness. Yeah, kind of remember playing that. It's like a 90s, 90s style action adventure. Did I play Mankind Divided? Okay, Deus Ex Mankind Divided is from 2016, but did I play that last year? I don't remember that. It's been a long time since I booted that game up. Bullet Girls Fantasia. Also been a while since I booted that game up too. Crow Country. Yep, that's a pretty good horror game. And then let's look at February. Elden Ring. I booted that up again. That's definitely a good game. Played that a lot in 2022. Yume Nikki. Yeah, this is an indie RPG that was released a while ago, like back in the 2000s, I think. Yeah, it was like okay. I don't think it was like, I mean, it was like one of the first indie RPGs I think back then. But yeah, it's just okay for me. Marvel Rivals, free to play. Yeah, like I said, it's like Overwatch 2, I guess. Pretty good actually for free to play. And 100 Line Last Defense Academy. This is by the same developers as Danganronpa, right? So it's Spike Chunsoft, I think. This is actually pretty good. I played the demo. Avowed, yep, I played this. That's by Obsidian. It's just very okay. Nothing special. It's trying to be like Elder Scrolls, but it's not Elder Scrolls. Urban Myth Dissolution Center. This is actually one of my favorite investigative point and clicks. I had in my top 30 point and click adventures. Fallout 4 VR, yep, the VR version of Fallout 4. Traveler's Rest, I think this is a forgettable one. Skyrim VR, played that as well. Kingsbound and Crossroads, forgettable. Soma is a pretty good horror game. I had this in my top 15 horror games, actually. Stellar Mess Princess Conundrum. Yeah, that's a pretty good point and click, retro style. Borderlands 2 VR, played that. I played a VR version of Pool. Citizen Sleeper 2 is one of my favorite narrative RPGs of 2025. Definitely, I had it in my top 30 as well. Tempest Rising, yep. Actually, this is very old school Command and Conquer style RTS games, and it made it onto my honorable mentions of 2025. And then the Yume Nikki sequel, which is not forgettable, I'd say. Rec Room, yeah, this is like a social VR game. Nah, I didn't really like playing that one anymore. It's like VR chat's still better, I think. This one has too many 8-year-olds. Shunjuko, I don't remember that one at all. Keep Driving. I think this is a pretty good indie game. Keep Driving. This is like an indie RPG, but you're driving and then you manage your car at the same time, and then you go through different adventures. It's actually pretty cool and unique. VR Chat, of course, that's my go-to VR social app. I don't remember playing Stone Madness. Talos Principle VR, that's a VR version of the puzzle game Talos Principle. Valor Man, don't remember playing. If I don't remember playing it, that means it's very forgettable. A Medieval VR, yep, VR version of a Medieval. Beat Saber, finally played that. Very popular VR game. Doom VR I played as well. Rise of Rebellion, don't remember. Maximum Apocalypse, don't remember. Nitrogen Omega, I remember this one having some pretty cool animations, and that's about it. Silverbox, Dungeons and Dragons, did play a bit of that. I don't remember playing this one, seeing they pass. Game Stonk Simulator, oh my god. Did I play that? I forget. Uni, yep, this is an indie RPG, indie horror game from back in the day. It's okay. Tactical Takedown, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, this is like a tactical Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. It's okay. Doombound Tactics, this is a tactical Doom game. Yeah, both of these are kind of try to cash in on the tactical fad, and they're both just okay. Thesiastery. I don't remember playing this, but I think I remember maybe just a little bit about it. Not that memorable to me. Slime Heroes, Queenslayer, I think I do remember playing this a little bit, but again, not something that stands out too much. Noxus Station, yeah, I think this was like a management style game. Laika, yeah, this is like a Metroidvania title that where you're like a fox riding a motorbike. It's okay. Guns on Darkness, forget, man, played so many games. Last Serious Sam VR, okay, played that. This is like a shooter, right? CPF. Then Rift of the Necro Dancer. Oh, I remember this one is like a rhythm game too. He's Coming. I think I remember playing this one a bit. That's okay. Rift. It's like a tower defense game. It's okay. Conquest Dark. Don't remember that one. Shape of Dreams. Don't remember that one. Angry Video Game Nerd 8-bit. I did play this for a bit. Yeah, it's standard 8-bit style platformer games. Okay. Portal Stories VR. Yep, played a bit of that. Big Helmet Heroes. Don't remember. Path of Exile 2. Yeah, it's a better Diablo 4. And then March, I played Inzoi, of course, the life simulation game, which I had in my top 10 games last year. Definitely promising. Hope they work on it more. I really do like a competitor to The Sims, especially if it's one where I can make like Korean characters and stuff. That's cool. What's this one? I can't even read this. I can't read this. I don't know. I forget. Whisper of the House, don't remember. Hungry Lamb is really good. I remember putting this in my top games of 2023, I think. Yeah, this is a really cool no, I shouldn't say cool. This is like a depressing, dark visual novel that's set in the Ming Dynasty in China. But I do recommend it. It was one of my top visual novels, for sure. Archetype Arcadia. Now, this visual novel I remember playing, but it was kind of boring compared to Hungry Lamb. Hungry Lamb is definitely like one I would recommend over. Archetype Arcadia was just kind of dry for me. It was like another visual novel, but I kind of like slogged through that one. My Rivals again. Okay, Stories from Soul the Gundog is pretty cool. This is like a NEC PC 98 style game. That's really an adventure game. So it's like almost like a point and click adventure game, but it's like Japanese style point and click. So it's like a PC 98 style graphics and everything. It's actually pretty cool. I was going to put it on my honorable mentions. I didn't quite make my honorable mentions of 2025. If I expanded it a little bit more, I could have mentioned it, but yeah, it's pretty good. I like that one. Omega 6 is another one I played this year that was pretty similar. Dream Barbecue. I think this is a really weird game, isn't it? Yeah, Ina's Dream Barbecue. Very, very weird. And this poster has nothing to do with the actual game. The actual game itself looks nothing like this. So, yeah, it's one of the weirdest games. I had a top 15 weirdest games list, and that one made it. I think this was in my top 5 weirdest games. Very weird. Yeah. If you guys want a weird experience, definitely check out Ina Dream Barbecue. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I did play this one. It was okay. It was Assassin's Creed set in Japan, so that's nice. But then it had a lot of performance issues on my computer, so I couldn't end up playing that very, very long. Too many performance issues. You and Me and Her. Okay, that's a forgettable visual novel. I think it's a visual novel. I just forget what was in it. Katawa Shoujo, same thing. It's a forgettable visual novel. Volcano Princess, another visual novel that's kind of forgettable. Fragpunk is actually pretty good. It reminds me of Valorant. It's similar to Valorant, like a little bit similar to Valorant. I would say. Hempri, another visual novel that was just okay. Dungeons & Dragons Collection 2 Gold Classic. Played some games in there, I guess. Atelier Yumiya, played the demo. It's a part of the Atelier series. And all the Atelier JRPGs are just okay. Nothing too special about those. Class of 09 Re-Up. I think it's another visual novel that was just, very, very 2000s. Look Outside is actually one of my favorite horror RPGs. It's done really nicely. So it's one of my it made it into my top 20 of last year, 2025. It's also made it into one of my top 20 horror games as well. Very good. Highly recommended. Ibi Adventures 2, it's okay. I think it's kind of forgettable. A-Tree, another forgettable visual novel. I do remember some things about it, but not too much. Fallen Aces is actually a pretty good first-person shooter game, done in a very unique comic book style. I think it was my honorable mentions of 2023. Yeah. Aimer Zone, this is a remake of a classic point-and-click adventure. It's okay, and the remake's done actually fairly well. But the game itself is like not one of my top point-and-clicks. Cabernet 2, I think this is a narrative RPG. It's kind of forgettable. Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, I do remember playing this one. It was okay. Just okay, I think. Something Hollow, okay, forgettable. Celeste 2, forgettable. Gloomwood, forgettable again. Horror Hyrule, kind of remember vaguely about that game. Not too much of it. Skin Deep, forgettable. I was a teenage ex-colonist, forgettable. Nukitasha 2. I think this was a visual novel, but also very forgettable. Blood Witch. I think this was a DOS game from back in the day. Knights in Tight Spaces. I think this was a tactical game. I don't know what this game is. Shadow Veil. Legend of Fine. Oh, forget. I played that one. Seat Taken. I think this is a nice puzzle game. I played that one. Silverbox Dungeons & Dragons. I played too. Okay. Forget which games I played there though. Dead Zone Rogue. I think this is a first-person shooter, but I forget playing that one too. Dead Wire is also forgettable. Milk Inside of a Bag of Milk. This is kind of a visual novel, like a horror visual novel, and actually it's not too long, so I finished it. Dust Raiders, kind of remember some things about it. It's got RPG aspects and management aspects to it. Fang Forge is forgettable. Jitter, remember only vaguely about it. Tex Murphy Overseer, that's a cool game. I remember having issues getting that running. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, I think it's a CRPG, it's just okay. Return to Krondor, I remember playing this. It's an old school DOS RPG, I'd say. So it's okay. Okay, Mochika, Truth Rears Its Ugly Head. I remember this visual novel. Now this one is interesting. I actually do remember some things about it, which means this is probably one of the better visual novels that I played. Yeah, you play like a person who's really ugly and everything, and most people are scared of him and stuff. So I actually remember some things about this one, which means it's one of the better visual novels. A lot of the other visual novels, I just barely remember them. Okay, Oblivion Remastered. Yeah, this made it into my top 5 games of 2025. It's technically, they call it a remaster, but technically I think it's a remake because it uses a totally new engine, but it's Oblivion, you know, so all-time great RPG there. Hello Goodbye. I don't remember much from this one. It's a visual novel though. Locomotive. Yeah, it's a point and click, kind of a newish one. It's okay. Underspace. I forget that one. Midnight Special. This is a point and click that's done very similarly to Clock Tower. So this is a Clock Tower influenced point and click, horror point and click, which is, yeah, it's done okay. It's like a homage to that. Mysterious Saga 2 is a tactical RPG. It's okay. Remake of the End of the Greatest RPG of All Time. Yeah, it's just an okay RPG, 8-bit style or something. Fallout, the original Fallout. Okay. Did I play that one? I forget I played that one last year. I thought it was like I thought it was like many years ago I played that one. Blueprints. Yeah, this is a memorable one. Pretty nice game. It's like you try to like figure out like all the rooms change every time you go into it and stuff. Pretty cool. Virtuaverse is a retro like cyberpunk point and click, which is cool. Wagon, I think is the card builder roguelike, but there's many of those. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, yeah, the original Baldur's Gate. Did play that. Classic. Chains of Freedom, forget that one. Dungeons Degenerate Gamblers, forgettable. Schedule 1. I remember this being about drugs or something. It's kind of forgettable though. Absolute Insanity, forgettable. Crescent Tower, forgettable. Aaron Shore, forgettable. Fogpiercer, forgettable. These are all forgettable. I don't remember much from those. Last Half of Darkness Remake. Yeah, I had this in my top 30 of last year as well. Yeah, it's a great game. It's a remake of an obscure DOS horror point and click. So, and it's actually it's definitely done like differently than the original DOS game, but it's so much more expanded because you know the original DOS game was like in the 80s and stuff. So, anyways, a pretty nice remake. Expedition 33, of course, what needs to be said, right? This is like game of the year last year. So it's an excellent RPG. I'm not going to call it JRPG because to me it's not. But it is just an all-around great RPG, right? Soundtrack, the gameplay, the story, the characters. Yeah, just everything is just on point, you know? So it's it won Game of the Year for good reason, I think. So, of course, I remember that one. Alien the Aliens, yeah, it's a point and click. That was okay. Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Yeah, this one is actually a pretty good point and click adventure game. I think it's from 2022. I actually had it in my top 30 games. Actually, my top 50 point and clicks. So, Thimbleweed Park as well. Had this in my top 50 point and clicks. It's a pretty good one too. It's done in a LucasArts style. Back from the Other World, I Miss Love. This is like one of those... it's like a dating sim, but it's using like live action. So it's like a live action dating sim. It's kind of like Love Is All Around You. When that one I played was a Chinese girls. This one was a Japanese girls. So this is a Japanese one. It's like Japanese live action dating sim basically. Oh, Goodbye Deponia, point and click. It's just okay. Lena Harvey, Harvey's New Eyes. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. I like Edna Harvey. My bad. Edna Harvey. Yeah, I remember playing this one. It's pretty good actually. It's memorable. Tokyo Dark is actually fairly decent point and click. Not great, but not bad either. Not forgettable. Deponia Doomsday and Chaos Deponia are just okay. I found all the Deponias kind of just okay point and clicks. Doom the Dark Ages, yeah, I did play this. Very different from a typical Doom game. Yeah, it's more like almost like, it feels like it's like a rhythm game almost. It's set in a dark fantasy atmosphere, kind of like Quake. Doesn't feel like Doom. It's okay, but it's not one of my favorite Doom games. Unavowed is a pretty good point and click. Definitely, if I were to expand my list of point and click adventure games, like, it's not in my top 50, but it will be like in maybe my top 70-ish, I would say. And I played a lot of point and clicks, right? So it's okay. It's pretty good, actually. I like Unavowed. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Oh, this is a Souls-like. Yeah. Not that memorable for me. It's just okay. Heroes Adventure. Forgettable. The Captain. Now, this is actually a pretty good point and click adventure game. I do remember playing this one. You get to go to different planets and stuff. Pretty cool, actually. Edna Harvey the Breakout. Yep. So both Edna and Harvey games are pretty good. I think I liked Harvey's New Eyes a little bit more. That actually made my top 50 point and clicks, but this one is not. It's still pretty good, but not as good as the other one. Colossal Cave 3D. Yeah, it's a 3D remake of Colossal Caves, which is the first adventure game ever released in 1977, I think. So yeah, this is a 3D remake of that by Roberta Williams. Yeah, she actually directed this one. So, anyways, it's okay. You know, like it's a remake of a very, very old game. And Bloodnet. This is a DOS RPG, a very old one. It was okay. King's Quest. This is a reboot or remake of King's Quest, which is just okay as well. I think some of the classic Sierra stuff may be better. Cathy Rain 2. Yeah, this is and Cathy Rain. Both of these are pretty nice modern point and click adventure games. Well, they're modern but done in a retro style. Yeah, pretty good. Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon. If you guys are looking for a better Elder Scrolls like game, play this one. It's better than Avowed. Avowed was not like really that good, but Tainted Grail I think was better if you're looking for Elder Scrolls like. Rosewater is okay. It's like another point and click. Pajama Sam. Yep, I played the first one. It's okay. Lamplight City is also okay as a point and click. Adventures of Fat Man. Yep, remember playing this one. It's like one of the early indie point and click adventure games, actually done in Adventure Game Studio. So it's actually pretty memorable. Brownie's Adventure. That's a forgettable one for me. Point and click though. I remember that being point and click. Pacific Drive is actually interesting, where you try to fix your car and it's a survival game essentially. It's okay. Frambeau is a decent point and click that has horror elements in it. Cat Quest 3 is forgettable. Botanicula's Adventure, also point and click adventure, but a little bit forgettable. Whispers of Machine is another point and click adventure, but a little bit forgettable. Powers in the Basement is okay point and click. I played a lot of point and clicks last year. Chronicles of the Wolf, forgettable. Void War, forgettable. Shroom and Gloom, I forget I played that either. Royal Light, No Time to Trip. I think this is a point and click, but kind of forgettable. Primordia, yeah, this is another Watch It Eyes game that was, again, pretty tough, because a lot of the Watch It Eyes games are, it's just the old school difficulty, but it's another decent point and click. In this Mystery Doomsday Valley, yeah, another just okay point and click. Samaras 3, another just okay point and click. Spy Fox, kind of similar to Pajama Sam, but just, Spy Fox instead of, it's just for kids, it's a kiddie point and click. From Beyond Prologue is reminiscent of like the old Mac Venture games, like Shadowgate and Uninvited. So that's actually pretty good. Pretty interesting. Don't remember playing that one. Outworld Station, don't remember that one. Mortal Sin, don't remember. Neon Heart City, I think this is a retro style point and click that was just okay. Machinarium, which is a decent point and click as well. Hell Clock, don't remember. Full Milestone, don't remember. Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, yeah. The multiplayer portion, I think, of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Don't remember that one. Guard something. Okay, Date Everything is a pretty unique one. Almost made my honorable mentions of last year, but it's a unique game because you can just date anything around the house. You put on these special glasses and then you try to date inanimate objects, which is a unique premise, I guess. Yep, so definitely memorable. Remother is a pretty good horror game, made my top 50 horror games, and Evil Within 2 made my top 50 horror games as well. And Bathhouse almost made my top 50, didn't quite make my top 50. So all three of these are pretty good horror games. Frosthaven is okay. It's like if you like Gloomhaven, I guess you might like Frosthaven. It's a strategy, tabletop strategy game. Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Yeah, it's sci-fi real-time strategy games. That was just okay. Insanity and Cat Lady are both really good horror games. Insanity is first person. Cat Lady is like a point and click. Both are really, really good horror games. They made my top 50 horror games. Chaos Gate Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters is pretty good. I remember it made my top 30 last year for strategy games. Pretty good. Definitely enjoyed playing that one. Little Rocket Lab is kind of like a Stardew Valley, I guess. It's just okay. Heron's Crest. Yeah, this one was kind of like a Quest for Glory type of game. It's just okay. Point and click adventure game. It's pretty good. Layers of Fear. The original Layers of Fear is really good, and it's actually one of my top 5 horror games of all time. Really good horror game. Highly recommended. Golden Wake. This is one of my favorite watch-at games. So Golden Wake is pretty good. I enjoyed playing this point and click. Incantation is a pretty good horror game as well. I think it's set in Taiwan, which is pretty cool. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. It's okay. Sci-fi RTS game. Norco's a pretty decent point and click as well. And Layers of Fear Remake isn't quite as good as the original, but it's a decent remake. Warhammer Battle Sector. Yeah, it's an okay Warhammer game, but I think I prefer Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Dark Falls, okay point and click, the horror point and click from back in the day. Beyond the Edge of Asgard is a really good point and click. I think it didn't quite make my top 50 point and clicks, but it's competitive. But it almost made it. It reminded me of Inherit the Earth because of the furries. Old Skies is a okay point and click. It's another watch it one. Bridge Curse 2 is another horror game. It's okay. Goblins 5 is the newest Goblins point and click games. It's okay. Deficit, don't remember that. System Shock 25th Anniversary Remaster. Yeah, this made my top 30 games last year. And, System Shock 2, It's a classic first-person sci-fi RPG. Horror. It's got so many genres in it. Anyways, System Shock 2 is a classic. Really good. Metaphobia, I don't remember. Visage is a pretty good horror game. Actually, I had this in my top 50 horror games. It's very atmospheric. I like it. Layers of Fear 2. Didn't get as far in this one as Layers of Fear 1. I think it's pretty good, but I still like the first one better. If on a Winter's Night for Travelers is a pretty good point-and-click adventure game, especially because it's free to play. So definitely check this one out. Mindlock the Apartment is an okay point-and-click. Nemesis 3 Mysterious Journey is okay point-and-click. Tony Tough is also an okay point-and-click. Big Ol' Boss is an okay point-and-click. Nightmare Frames is a decent point-and-click as well. Runaway Twist of Fate is not very good point-and-click, but I checked it out anyways. Jack Orlando, also a not very good point-and-click, but I checked it out anyways because it's 90s. Voidbreaker, forget about it. Don't remember that. The Last Door, I remember this being a pretty good point-and-click horror game. So that one's also a decent horror point-and-click as well. Bridge Curse 1, yep, another okay horror game set in Taiwan. Dead Hand is another retro point-and-click that was okay. Runaway is a classic, actually. This one was pretty popular. I think it's a Spanish studio that developed this. Yeah. Anyways, it's kind of like a Broken Sword, but it's okay. Broken Relic's a pretty okay point-and-click. That's, another retro-style indie point-and-click. That's okay. Paranormal HK, I played this for a bit. Decent horror game. Not bad. Absolum is actually one of the better beat-em-ups, I would say, that got released recently. Darkfall 2 is okay. Horror point-and-click. Quinn Undying Thoughts. It's a Myst-like. It's just okay. Mighty 1990, retro point-and-click. That was just okay. Armor Krog. Armor Krog is kind of the spiritual successor to the Neverhood. And I still like Neverhood better. Mina the Hollower, it's a pretty good retro game. I think it was made by the same devs as Shovel Knight, so give it a shot. Different game though, it's pretty different. Shard Light, I think this is another Wadjet game. It was just okay. Edge of Chaos, Independence War. I don't remember this one that well. Mio, don't remember this one as well. I think it's a Metroidvania. Morbid Metal, don't remember. Adventure of Samsara, don't remember. Will of Arthur Flabbington. Yeah, this is another point and click that was just okay. Dark Quest 4, it's another okay dungeon crawler. This one, just okay, another point and click. Katana, I don't remember. Castle Bound, I don't remember. Follow the Meaning. Okay, this is the art style is unique in this one. It's another point and click adventure. Pretty unique art style, but just okay. Bollock's Pit, another roguelike. It was just okay. Shooter's Blood and Teeth, shooter game that was just meh. Live Burr is a narrative adventure game, is just meh. I played Watch Dogs 2 last year. I don't even remember that. I don't remember playing Watch Dogs 2 last year. I played this a lot back when it came out in 2016. Don't know what this is. Shadow Warrior 3 is a pretty good first-person shooter game. I think I had this as one of my favorite first-person shooter games of... When did it come out? 2024 or something? I don't think it was last year it came out. So I think this was a 2024 game, actually. Aero Machina, I don't remember. Serenkaga PHP Splash. I must have booted this one up again. But this one, I played a lot when it came out in 2017. Time Lapse. Yeah, it's another Myst-like. It's just okay. Bridge Curse 2. Yep, another horror game that was just okay. Set in Taiwan again. Spider-Man Remastered. I guess I played that again. This is a 2018 game. Of course, it's Spider-Man, right? That one's actually pretty good. It's Insomniac. This one's just another card builder. Mummy Demastered is a Metroidvania. It's okay. Marco and the Galaxy Dragon is one of my favorite visual novels. Highly recommended. I think it made my top 10 visual novels. So this was really, really by Tokyo Tune. It's a really, really like fun. It's just a fun visual novel. Yeah, very comedic. Remember Me. Yeah, I don't remember playing this last year, but when it came out in 2013, I did. Don't remember playing Code Vein. I think that's a Souls-like. Fallout New Vegas, I don't remember booting up last year, but it's one of my all-time favorite RPGs. It's really good. Okay. Chinatown Detective Agency. Yeah, this one was, I think, made my honorable mentions of 2022. It's actually a pretty cool point-and-click adventure game, and you can travel to different cities, buy flight tickets and stuff. So that's cool. Amnesia the Bunker is one of the newest Amnesia games in that series, and it's a pretty good horror game, actually. So it's a first-person horror game, and yeah, pretty good. Dreams in the Witch House is also a pretty good point-and-click horror game as well. Maze Initiation is kind of like a Harry Potter-like point-and-click. So I do remember that one as well. It's decent. Amnesia Rebirth is also pretty decent as well, although I think I like the Bunker better. Society of the Serpent Moon, forgettable. Dude, Where's My Beer? Yeah, it's a decent point-and-click. I do remember some things from that one. 13th Doll, fan game The Seventh Guest. Yeah, if you like Seventh Guest, which is a horror point-and-click-ish, then you might check out 13th Doll as well. It's pretty decent too. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is probably one of my top 30 point-and-click adventure games, and also one of my top 30 horror games as well. Very disturbing and also very good. Who's at the Door? Yeah, this is just it's an okay horror game. It's just a 11th Hour. This is the sequel to Seventh Guest, and I think probably 13th Doll is better, but it's okay. Next Big Thing, I think this is by the same developer as Runaway. Yeah, it's just okay. Exit Biodelic Adventure, just another okay point and click. Night of the Rabbit, another okay point and click. Al-Emo, not a very good point and click, but I played it. The Night is Grey, another okay point and click. The Drifter, this is a good point and click adventure game, but I didn't get to spend too much time on it. I should probably go back to it at some point, but it's pretty good. Edge of Sanities, it's okay. Last Report, I think this is actually pretty good. Played a demo. It's a horror game where you're you basically like you're this forest ranger, I think, and then like creepy stuff happens. So it's pretty good. Decent, actually. Fly Night, yeah, kind of remember playing this a bit, but it's forgettable. Astra, forgettable. English Haunting, I think this, and I get this confused with Dreams in the Witch House, but I think they're both pretty decent point-and-click horror games. Surreal Dade is just kind of a really weird point-and-click. I don't think it's that good, though. Resonance is another Rockjet Games point-and-click that's just okay. Tomb Water, I don't remember that one. Primordial Fate, don't remember. Time Lapse, yeah, it's a Myst-like. Gold River Project, no, not very good. Erajigoku, not very good. Replicomica is just okay. Masterpiece, just okay. I don't remember it too much, actually. Dream Machine's an interesting claymation point-and-click. So that's an interesting art style. It's just okay, though. Breakers Collection is like, that's a fighting game. So it's okay. It's like an obscure fighting game. Got a release. I got some like Egypt, I think. That's a point-and-click adventure from back in the day, and Something Chronicles. Don't remember. Okay, more point-and-clicks. I played a lot of point-and-click adventures last year. Putt-Putt Travels Through Time. Yeah, this is like your children point-and-click. Yeah, if you guys are looking for like some childish humor. You can check it out. Rattles Monday. I remember playing this point and click. Is okay. I don't remember this one. Space Come. Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition. Almost made my honorable mentions of last year. I'm sorry, not last year. When did this come out? 2023. Yeah. It almost made my honorable mentions of 2023. Didn't quite make it. But Rise of the Triad is one of my favorite old school first person shooters. And this is like a remaster, essentially. So it's pretty good. It's by Night Dive Studios. So yeah. 3 Minutes to Midnight. It's an okay point and click. Oh, the Heretic and Hexen remaster that came out last year. That was surprising to get a remaster for those two, but it's a pleasant surprise. I did enjoy playing those. So that made my top 30 list last year. Unusual Findings is a pretty good point and click, done in the 80s style. So this is set in 1980s and has a lot of homages to a lot of 80s blockbusters. So it's one of my favorite point and clicks of recent memory. So I think I had this in my top 30 point and click adventures. Really good. Highly recommended if you like the 80s. Order of the Thorn. I think this is just okay point and click. Encodia is an okay point and click. Shadows of Atoms, one of those indie retro RPGs that was decent, I would say. I think it made my top 30 indie RPGs. Doom and Doom 2 Remaster. That's pretty good remaster as well. Classic games, of course. Off Remastered. This is like kind of a cult classic indie RPG that got a pretty good remaster and made my top 30 games last year. So check it out. Also one of my top 30 indie RPGs. Freddy Fish 4, another one of those children point and click adventure games. You can check it out if you like child humor. It brings me back to my school days. It's like edutainment almost. Experience 112. Yeah, this is kind of a unique point and click where you follow different security cameras and you control different security cameras instead of the person itself. So that's kind of interesting. Overclocked is another interesting point and click, I guess. But yeah, I think Experience 112 was definitely very, very unique. The Abbey Director's Cut. Yeah, it's another point and click that was just okay. I don't remember this one. The Blackwell series. All the Blackwell games are just pretty decent point and click adventure games, I would say. They're all by Watchit Games. Elisa is actually a pretty good horror game. I had this in my top 30 horror games, so that's check it out. Elisa is pretty good. Keepsake, I think this is an okay adventure game. Just okay. Killing Time Resurrected. Yeah, I like the remaster of Killing Time. Killing Time is a pretty good, I would say overlooked and underrated 90s first-person shooter, and it got a surprising remaster from Night Dive. So, yeah. Strife is a pretty good one, too. It's also remastered by Night Dive. It's a very underrated 90s first-person shooter and RPG. It was a combination first-person shooter RPG, so it's pretty unique for the time. Salamo Battle for Carthage. Yeah, this is a point-and-click that's set in a very interesting fantasy, dark fantasy type of world, which is cool. Three Skulls of the Toltecs. Yeah, I think this one is okay. Point and click, set in the Wild West. And Legend of Castile. Don't remember it too well. I think this is a point and click as well. Yeah, this is a point and click, but it's not too memorable for me. Shadow Man Remastered is a remastered of an old PS2 era game that was just okay. Put, and Freddy Fish games are all fairly similar to each other. Emerald City is actually a pretty good point and click as well. I think this is another Watchit Games. Yeah, this is like a Wizard of Oz type of reference because I think it is set in the Wizard of Oz, Emerald City. So if you like Wizard of Oz, check it out. Secret Agent got a surprising HD remaster. It's a very old school DOS platformer game. Surprising that it got a remaster. So yeah, I mean Secret Agent is one of my childhood favorites. So that's just kind of a sentimental choice. Another Blackwell games are okay. Strangeland is interesting. This is like another Watchit Games point and click, but set in kind of a horror, different dimension universe type of thing, which is kind of interesting. Siberia is another classic point and click, I would say. It's just okay for me though. The Westerner, not very good. It's supposed to be a sequel to the Three Skulls of the Toltecs, but it's 3D and not very good. Not as good as this one, as the Three Skulls. Another put Blind Prophet's an okay point and click as well. Orphe of the Ages is not a very good point and click. It's trying to be like Myst. Voyeur is this is like one of those games where it's like, how do you classify it? It's like you try to spy on different people and stuff. Yeah, it was interesting for the early 90s. Another Blackwell game is just okay. Wheel of Sphinx, another old school point and click that wasn't very good actually. Darkest Castle is an okay point and click. Zargon got a remake. I was shocked at this too. This is a old school Epic Games platformer that I played when I was a kid. So kind of similar to Secret Agent, where I kind of had some fond memories playing this back in the day. Surprising got a remake though. I personally don't really like the remake though. I remember I actually prefer the original game. They messed some things up with this remake. Night Chase, a little bit forgettable, but I think this is a point and click as well. Secret Files Tunguska, yeah, kind of forgettable, I think, but it's another point and click. Another Blackwell game, it's okay. Shiva is another, I think this is another Watchette Games release as well, and it's an okay point and click. Loch Ness, another okay point and click. Moment of Silence, don't remember very well. I think there's another point and click though. Motordrome, don't remember. Blackwell Deception, another Blackwell Games, okay. Card Coder, another deck builder, I think. This one, Parhelions, is a shooter game. That was a retro style shooter. PO'd is interesting. It's a very interesting first person shooter that got a Night Dive Studios type of remaster, but honestly it's a bit weird and odd. So I wouldn't say it's one of the best. So yeah, it's just kind of odd. Final Outcry, I don't remember. Hobocat Adventures, not very good. Bat Mojo, yeah, I think Bat Mojo is another one that's kind of this got a nice remaster as well by Night Dive, I believe. So it's a point and click where you play as a cockroach, so it's pretty interesting. And yeah, let's check out September. Trails in the Sky First Chapter, very good remake because the original was actually done in this pixelated 2D sprites on a 3D background type of thing, and they made it fully 3D, and it actually did it pretty well, I think. So it's a pretty good remake. Made my top 30 last year. Same thing with Dawn of War Definitive Edition. So this is probably one of the best Warhammer strategy games, Dawn of War, and yeah, got a pretty nice remake, or yeah, I think it's a remake. So yeah, made my top 30 last year. Skate is a reboot of the Skate series, and honestly not that great, but it was free to play. All of Our Broken Parts, yeah, I played the demo. It's actually pretty good. You fix up some androids and stuff. Saga Frontier 2 got a remaster as well. Square Enix did a kind of a low-key remaster of this, and yeah, art style is pretty memorable and everything, and made my top 30 last year. So yeah, check it out. Balls of Steel, yeah, this is a classic pinball game, and for pinball games, okay, I guess. Refine Self personality test game. This is actually pretty memorable because as you play this game, you get to know more and more about your personality, which is interesting. Asylum is a decent point-and-click horror game. Observer System Redux, also it's another horror adventure game. That was okay. Murder on the Orient Express, yeah, I remember playing this as well. It's another Agatha Christie type of adventure game that was just okay. Shadow Road, yeah, barely remember that one. Wolfenstein 3D, it's not Wolfenstein 3D, it's Darkenstein 3D, yeah. It's a retro-style first-person shooter inspired by Wolfenstein 3D. That was just okay. Oh, Biomenace got a remaster. That's right. Yeah, another one of my favorite childhood titles. Biomenace. I remember playing this when I was a kid, and another one that kind of is sentimental to me. I'm glad this got a remaster. But it's a nice platformer shooter. Ludo. Kind of remember it a bit. I think this is kind of a horror game, right? Yeah, this was okay. Necrophasis, similar to Scorn, I think, in terms of aesthetic. So if you guys like the grotesque horror atmosphere, check it out. Nea is kind of like this Myst Riven-like. So it actually does it pretty well. If you're looking for a game kind of like, oh, this looks like Myst and Riven, check out Nea. House of Tesla, point and click that, well, it's where you're in Nikola Tesla's house, right? And you try to figure things out. Same with House of Da Vinci. This is pretty much a similar series. Just one is it's dealing with Leonardo da Vinci's contraptions, another one with Tesla's contraptions. They were both okay for me. Spine Lasher, I think this was a Metroidvania type. That was like, okay. Day of the Tentacle Remastered. Yep, that's a good remaster of a classic point and click. Lady Dracula is a pretty decent Metroidvania title as well. Bamojo again, House Da Vinci, okay. I think I played this one in number 2. The Mute House, it's a horror game. That was just okay. Night is Long, another okay horror game. House of Da Vinci 3 as well. I don't remember too much from that one. And Clock Tower Rewind is a very good remaster of a classic Super Nintendo horror game, Clock Tower, that never got an official release in the West. So I'm really glad that this one came out. One of my favorite games of 2024, and also on my top 50 horror. No, it's actually in my top 20 horror games, and also my top 20 point and clicks as well. Pentiment, yeah, this is technically a point and click by Obsidian. It's probably the most un-Obsidian-like game because it's not really an RPG. I did have it in my honorable mentions of 2022. It's done in this kind of medieval Renaissance style, so it's pretty interesting. Blade Runner Enhanced Edition is, yeah, this is a nice remaster of a classic point and click adventure game based on Blade Runner, of course. So one of my favorite point and clicks. I think it's my top 10 point and clicks, I would say. Crimson Diamond is pretty awesome too. Like, this is one of my favorite point and clicks of recent memory, done in the style of an old school Sierra game. In particular, it tries to be like the Colonel's Bequest. So yeah, pretty good. I made it in my top 20 point and clicks, and also one of my top 20 2024 games. Beyond Shadowgate is this is trying to be like Shadowgate, you know, like the old school Mac Venture Shadowgate game. And it's a point and click, and I think they did a really good job with Beyond Shadowgate. It really just feels like an extension of Shadowgate, so that's pretty good. I think this also made my top 2024 games as well. Noctropolis is this interesting point and click adventure game that's kind of done in a comic book style, so it's pretty interesting. It made my top 50 point and clicks. Harvester made my top 30 point and clicks as well. It's a horror point and click where you go back in time into the 1950s, you lose your memories, but you find this cult in the city and stuff. Pretty interesting. Crusader Kings 3, played a bunch of this in October apparently. Okay, I don't remember much about Sigils of Nightfall. I think it was a roguelike. Planet Coaster 2, yeah, the sequel to Planet Coaster. So this is like a simulation game, of course. It's if you guys like Roller Coaster Tycoon, especially number 3 is what Planet Coaster is based on. Of course, if you like Planet Coaster 2 is there. I just feel like it hasn't gotten as much expansions and stuff as, it doesn't have as much stuff in it as Planet Coaster yet. But it will eventually. Anyways, it's pretty decent. Dispatch. Actually, this is one of my honorable mentions of last year, right? Because I really like the narrative in this game. We get to the actual gameplay is kind of light, but it's more like almost like a visual novel. And I do like the animations in this game. It's done really well, and the dialogue is really good too. So recommended. Ether Nirons is kind of this futuristic steampunk. I would say futuristic steampunk type of a narrative adventure game. It's pretty good actually, not bad. Technically it technically doesn't come out until this year, I think. Everwin, forgettable. Seiko Giantess Dating Sim, actually one of my favorite games of last year because this is like not a dating sim. It's like one of those games where it's almost like a visual novel, I would say. Like every day you go into like this little drawer and then you try to pick the person around you that will be eaten by this giantess. And yeah, you decide who gets to get eaten. You try to build relationships with the people in there. It's actually a pretty interesting premise. So I do recommend it. One of my top 15 games of last year. Kiramather's Curse. Yeah, this is like a Earthbound-like, I would say, indie RPG. Is fairly similar to Earthbound. Konosuba is a forgettable visual novel. Omori is a really good indie RPG. Actually made my top 10 indie RPGs. Done really well. You can see like the influence from Yume Nikki actually, but it's better than Yume Nikki, to be honest. So yeah, a highly recommended indie RPG and has horror aspects to it as well. 5 Hearts Under One Roof. So basically, this is like that Japanese live action dating sim except with Korean girls. So instead of Japanese girls, and or you can say like the Korean version of Love Is All Around. Yeah. If you guys like Korean girls and live action dating sim, check it out. This was going to make my honorable mentions because I do like Korean girls, but didn't quite make it. Okay, this one is a forgettable. Voodoo Detective is a point and click that's okay. Simon the Sorcerer Origins is kind of like the new Simon Sorcerer, but I prefer the old school ones better. The old school ones were like, classic point and click adventure games. I like the first 2. The third one sucked. And this one's just okay. This one's forgettable. Fantasy Maiden Wars is kind of like, I think this was like Super Robot Wars, isn't it? Yeah, that was just Warhammer Mechanicus 2 is a pretty good tactical RPG. You can't go wrong with any Warhammer game. They're all pretty decent. Lady Killer in a Pinch is like this okay visual novel, I guess. The Castle, I think this is like almost very much similar to Maniac Mansion. It's like, if you want to play like a redux of Maniac Mansion, essentially, you can try The Castle, but it's very, very similar. Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. Yep, if you like Heroes of Might and Magic, you can check that one out. It's classic turn-based strategy. Lisa the Painful Definitive Edition. Yeah, this is an interesting kind of platform, adventure game, right? So I think it's worth checking out that one as well. It's interesting. Dungeon Defenders Awaken is like Dungeon Defenders. It's like an updated version. I don't think it's quite as good as the original though. Eclipsium. Oh, I remember this art style being pretty interesting, but I don't remember much else from it. Short Snow is kind of this survival game that was just nah. Demio Dungeons and Dragons Battle Mark. Yeah, so if you guys like Demio, there's a sequel essentially to Demio that was just yeah, if you like Demio, you like the strategy game. Of Grit and Graves is forgettable. What's this one? Oh, this is kind of this weird game. I forget what this game is called. It's like I forget what this game's called, but I do remember the aesthetic of this game. It's just kind of weird. Yeah, but I forget, the name doesn't come to me right now. Oh, Hynix, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it's Hynix. Yeah, Hynix 2, yeah. It's a weird game. But still worth checking out if you like weird games. Whispered World. I think it's a point and click. That was just okay. Dr. Al's Prodigy I remember this one vaguely, but not too much. This one, forgettable Nomiya. Iron Fury is a pretty good retro style first person shooter game. Phantom Fury is like the sequel, but it's not quite as good as Iron Fury in my opinion. Constance is a decent Metrovania title, actually. I actually think this is one of the better ones. Menace, I think I forget this one. I do remember playing it, but I forget what exactly it's about. Rising Army, forgettable. Astro Botanica, also forgettable. Toho Dystopian is also a little bit forgettable. Clover Pit is actually, this is like a slot machine roguelike, so it's actually not bad. I think it's trying to be like Belatro, but with slot machines. Dino Blade is like, I only remember it because you play as a dinosaur wielding a sword. I mean, it's just a crazy idea, but it's a Souls-like. Miniature Adventures, just a shooter. 5 more minutes is whatever. Outer Worlds 2 came out last year as well. Yeah, this made my top 30 of last year as well, Outer Worlds 2, even though it's kind of overlooked, I would say. I think it's a little bit better than the first Outer Worlds. So if you guys like, first-person sci-fi RPGs, definitely check it out. Borderlands 4, yeah, this came out last year as well. It's like an fully open world version of Borderlands. That's it's decent, I'm not gonna say I still think Borderlands 2 is my favorite, but Borderlands 4 is not bad. Made my honorable mentions of last year. Rezonite is like kind of like the spiritual successor to Neos VR, which is this VR social application, kind of like VR chat. So I played that a bit. It's okay. I still prefer VR chat. Umamusume. It's like these runner girls or something. Visual novel. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Octopath Traveler 0 came out last year too as a demo, and yeah, this one is if you like Octopath Traveler, then pick it up. I do think it's a very classic JRPG style, and then done in this kind of HD 2D style or 2D HD style or something. But anyways, I do like the art style of Octopath Traveler, and this being a classic 16-bit RPG experience, so it's pretty good. I think more people should have probably looked at this one. Where Winds Meet is surprisingly good for a free-to-play game. This one is like, it's an open world, ancient China, wuxia, and with AAA graphics. So it's a free-to-play, It doesn't even have that many microtransactions in my opinion. So it's actually really good for a free-to-play game. It surprised me. Foolish Mortal's a point-and-click set in like 1930s Louisiana or something, so it's okay. PUBG Battlegrounds actually first played. Yeah, this is a famous game that finally got around to playing, and it was okay, I guess. Yeah, I don't see myself playing it that often. It's like, basically it's a battle royale, It's okay. Okay, for Five Hearts Under One Roof 2 is the sequel to Five Hearts Under One Roof, so I played the Korean girl dating simulator game, and this here is the sequel with more Korean girls and use the same live action simulator. So it's, yeah, if you guys liked the live action dating sim stuff and with Korean girls, more Korean girls in it, then check it out. Yeah, this was going to make my honorable mention last year, but not quite. Didn't quite make it. This one's forgettable. This one's forgettable. This one's forgettable. Oh, this is a new Katamari game that came out last year. That was, if you like Katamari, there's that. So it's so good. It's good for a Katamari game. It's just kind of unique for what it is. Earth vs. Mars, forgettable. Glass House. I remember this being like a Disco Elysium type of game. That was, so it's just okay. Xenopurge, forgettable. Crashlands 2 is a sequel to Crashlands, which is kind of like a kind of like Stardew Valley type-ish. was just okay. Dinkum is just okay, another kind of mining, Stardew Valley type of game, Minecraft type of game. Rue Valley is an interesting RPG, I think. It's kind of like a narrative RPG. It's just okay, I guess. Jitter is forgettable. Detective Instinct for Oh My Beloved. Now, this one's pretty interesting. This reminded me of Famicom Detective Club and Hokkaido Serial Murders. It's kind of done in that 80s Japanese adventure style, so pretty cool. Kenshi, I don't think I knew how to play that game. I sucked at it. Hollow Knight Silksong, yep. The sequel to the classic fan favorite Hollow Knight, one of the most beloved Metroidvania titles. Really, it's the one that kind of kickstarted the whole indie Metroidvania boom. And yeah, basically it's more of Hollow Knight. If you liked Hollow Knight, you like Silksong. Aruta, a little bit forgettable for me. Animal Phrase, also roguelike, kind of forgettable. Use of Life was okay, kind of forgettable. Humanity Echoes Cyberpunk RPG, yeah, kind of forgettable too. Guild Clerk, visual novel, that was just okay. Fan Brigade 2.0, forgettable. Verho, Curse of Face. I think this is a Souls-like. And the Souls-like was, yeah, it's a Souls-like. It's pretty hard. But it's okay. Conquer Lands was another roguelike. Trinity Archetype, forgettable. Last Will Cross Souls, Grime 2 is forgettable. Dictator, forgettable. Shadowthorn, forgettable. Die for Lake, forgettable. Invoker Tactics, forgettable. Okay, finally December. Daemon X Machina Titanic Ski-On is a pretty good sequel to Daemon X Machina. If you guys like the, kind of shooting up stuff with a mech, pretty good. Vidu Remastered Mystery of the Souls Army. I vaguely remember this one a bit, but it's not like that memorable for me. Wismon's World, forgettable. Esoteric Ebb. Actually, Esoteric Ebb is pretty cool. This is almost like a Disco Elysium type of game. So yeah, this is actually a better Disco Elysium type of game than Glass House. So this is actually pretty good. Temple of Elemental Evil. I don't remember too much about it. Meg's Monster is a pretty good RPG. I had this in my top 10 indie RPGs. Yeah, it's done really nicely. So if you guys like, check it out. Basically, if you want to play a nice indie RPG with kind of Monsters Inc. vibe, I want to say. Banner Crusaders, forgettable. You're Not Bunny Girls, okay RPG. Clearly inspired by Undertale, I want to say. So yeah, it's okay. Forsworn, forgettable. Queen's Domain, forgettable. Angeling, forgettable. Forgettable. Blightstone, forgettable. Effulgence RPG, yeah. This one, just because the art style is really, really unique. It's like ASCII characters. Very colorful ASCII characters. So, yeah. Other than that, it's okay. Forgettable. Titans of Past, forgettable. Stone Shards, okay, I guess. And Look Outside. Yeah, that's it. Just went over like all the games I played last year. And I would say like the best. I mean, I actually made a list of my top 30. So if you guys want to look at my favorite games, from last year, 2025, just go check out my list of my top 30. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. Some of the honorable mentions didn't quite make the list is like Five Hearts Under One Roof 2. This is like the live action Korean girl dating simulator, which is actually pretty good in my opinion. Has some really cute girls in it, so I think that's worth mentioning. That didn't quite make it into my honorable mentions for my top 30. Katamari's interesting game. I mean, if you like that, that's pretty good. Where Winds Meet, I think, is worth mentioning as well. Surprisingly good for free to play. What else did not mention in the top 30? Clover Pit, I guess, is pretty interesting for roguelike. Let's see, what else is interesting here that I didn't mention? Planet Coaster 2, yeah, that actually deserves a mention as well, but didn't quite make my list. If you like Planet Coaster, you know, and I do. So, yeah, what else? Oh, Nea has actually done fairly well, you know, if you like Myst and Riven. And what else is worth mentioning here? I'm just looking for the games that came out last year, because not all these games came out last year. A lot of them did, but not all of them. Oh, Drifter. Yeah, Drifter is worth mentioning. That's a pretty good point-and-click adventure game. Horror one as well. And let's see. What else came out last year that didn't mention in my top 30? Yeah, I think for the most part I got most of these. I did kind of want to mention Norco. My top 50 point clicks didn't quite make it. Same thing with Golden Wake. Those two are actually pretty good. I didn't quite end up mentioning them though. They didn't make it because I just too many good point clicks. Date Everything. Yeah, this one's actually pretty unique. Didn't quite make my list of last year. What else? I guess it's worth mentioning Tainted Grail as well, if you guys are looking for Elder Scrolls-like. And Doom: The Dark Ages is... I have mixed opinions about it, but it's not bad, for sure. Like, it's just not really like a Doom game to me, but it's not bad. Tokyo Dark didn't quite make it into my top 50 point clicks, but it's not bad. And Blueprints didn't quite make it, but that's worth mentioning too. It's a pretty good one. Puzzle game. Actually, I want to say for visual novels, Mochika is actually... It might make my list for visual novels later on. Still thinking about it. And let's see what else is worth mentioning here. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows didn't quite make my top games list last year. Although, Ghost of Yote did. So there's that. Stories from Soul the Gundog didn't quite make it, but worth mentioning as well. I do like that one too. And then, let's see. Yeah, 100 line Last Defense Academy is worth mentioning too. That's a pretty decent RPG that came out last year. Kind of got forgotten amongst all the others. And what else? Just a lot of forgettable stuff too. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for games that came out last year. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And stay tuned if you guys want to watch my top 30 games of 2025, which I did a video on already. So that's it, guys. As always, thanks for watching.